Ah, religion, spirituality, mysticism. These are all things that I believe are intrinsically tied to the modern human experience. But what did this look like in the case of our friends, the Neanderthals? Well, the short answer is we have absolutely no idea. But there are a few things we do know about the Neanderthals that could help us hypothesize. Well, the first thing we know is that Neanderthals were capable of symbolic thought and artistic representation. We see this in the jewelry they've created from different animal remains as well as cave drawings. For instance, there's cave drawings depicting animals and possibly a display of hunting, things that were important to their daily life and the continued longevity of their culture. But there is one more, even more compelling piece of information that could point us in the direction of spirituality and the supernatural. Now, the most compelling piece of evidence that points to Neanderthals as a religious people is the fact that they have a habit of burying their dead. In the site of Tashiktash in Uzbekistan, we have an infant burial who is surrounded by goat horns. In Regardo, France, we see a Neanderthal buried next to bare bones in a slab containing different tools. Now, does this point to Neanderthals burying their dead in some form of spiritual reverence? Not exactly. This could be a completely practical purpose. They might be trying to dissuade potential predators or protecting the group from various diseases that come with decaying bodies. But if that's the case, why were these burials so elaborately and thoughtfully put together? Maybe these symbols were to show reverence and respect for the fallen. But it is fun to wonder if Neanderthals ever speculated on the mysteries of life. How did they react to sudden and unexpected shifts in the weather? Did they ever muse about what happens when life meets its end? And if they did they approach these thoughts with reverence or fear or awe? The world may and probably will never know the answers to these questions, but it is fun to speculate. To paraphrase John Hawkes from the University of Wisconsin, religion is built upon highly detailed spiritual narratives. But remove that and look at the material manifestations that an archaeologist might find, and there's very little in modern religious tradition that is different from what the Neanderthals were doing. Now, I believe this shows that Neanderthals quite possibly could have been capable of religious and spiritual thought, but it far from proves that that is the case. And if it is the case, and Neanderthals were engaging in some sort of supernatural and spiritual musings, it would be far, far removed from what we as modern humans recognize as religion or religious practices. It is important to note that all of this is conjecture and hypothesis. The world will never know whether or not Neanderthals were truly a religious people. But it's so much fun to wonder. When we live in a world that's as crazy and unpredictable as this, how could we not wonder how the Neanderthals interpreted that? I mean, we as modern humans can't even interpret that. And just like religion, asking for answers to unanswerable questions, well, that's what humans do best.